Are You Really Going to Eat That? Podcast episode 127. So, how are we all doing this week? I'll tell you what, I'm going to be really honest and say that this is such an appropriate episode for me to be recording right now. Because, I think I get to this time of year, kind of the beginning of February, and I just feel really worn out. And I think particularly as, again, we've not been able to travel as much as we would have liked to. I'm hearing lots and lots of people have had coronavirus for the second time. Even lots of families and friends have been kind of having to isolate and things, and haven't had maybe the Christmas and the New Year that wanted. January is such a long month. I'm really lucky in January. I have quite a few celebrations. It's my husband's birthday in January, and it's our wedding anniversary. So we were married. We have been married for 24 years now. We have been married for 24 years now. So it's a nice celebration, and it's a nice time of year for me. But I do get to sort of the beginning of February, and I just feel really, really tired. Now, there is a terminology that we use called TAT. And it stands for, it's TATT, stands for tired all the time. And it does seem to be quite a modern phenomenon. And I have to be honest that many of my one-to-one clients, or many people that I just, chat to and have calls with, it's one of the key things is, there's always a couple of areas that you can almost go, we're going to talk about this or this, weight loss is another one that we talk about. And tiredness, energy levels is another one that is really, really common and really, really high up on the list. And today I just wanted to talk to you about talk to you a little bit about being tired, about, what you can, what the signs are and things, but also I want to really raise your awareness of listening to your body and understanding that there are levels to this. And if you don't listen to your body, then there could be more. Many, many women that I see, I think I'd use the term blooming knackered. But it is quite, it is perhaps a modern phenomenon, this whole tired all the time. And I do think it's important that we think about what our energy levels should be, how we can get better energy levels, and what the early signs are if we are starting to suffer from what I would call extreme fatigue. One of the key things that I see in clients really is overcommitting. And one of the key things that I do myself is overcommitting. As I'm recording this podcast, I did a Slight Edge breakfast networking with the lovely Mark Tonks, and he asked us, what are the biggest things that are getting in your way? What is stopping you achieving what you want to do? And I said, overcommitting, putting too much in my diary is one of my problems. And one of the things that he said, which I thought were absolutely brilliant, is he said, think about, what if you say yes to something, if you commit to something, what are you having to give up instead? What are you not going to be able to do if you overcommit? And this is the problem, isn't it? That we work really, really long hours at work to make sure that, projects are completed. Like me, I overcommit. So then I have to do extra hours to make sure I've got those things done that I say I'm going to do. And then if you've got kids, do you then commit to, baking cakes for the fundraising? Or, I'm a bugger for inviting people over, or going to events and thinking, oh, I'll just make something to take with me, or I'll just take that or do that. And then hosting dinner parties, having friends over, whilst it's wonderful and it is a joy to my soul to spend time with friends and family, I think sometimes just remembering to accept that helps. So when friends come around for dinner, when they say, what can I bring? I'm good now at saying, oh, could you bring some cheese, or could you bring the dessert, or would you mind doing the starter? So that it takes some of that commitment off us. You need to take back a little bit of control. There are some really simple things that you can do, whether you feel you're at the spectrum where you're close to this kind of extreme fatigue, or whether you genuinely are just feeling quite tired and you're like, I don't want to get to that point because, once I get there, it's so hard to come back. So let's start doing things now that are going to make sure that we don't end up in that extreme fatigued state. So there's super, super simple things that you can do to take back control of your energy. First one, and the simple one, I talk about this all the time, is make sure you get enough sleep. 7 to 8 hours is optimum. You need to prioritize sleep because it is the time when our body repairs and renews and tops up those battery levels. So you really, really need to prioritize that. Getting out in the fresh air is brilliant. If you can get up early and go out in the fresh air early, that's really great because that resets our cortisol levels. And we need cortisol in the morning to get us going, to get us working and stuff, and then lower levels at night. So actually resetting that rhythm and getting the cortisol in the morning is a great way to do it. It's one of the best forms of exercise is just going for a walk. Even if you are super, super tired, you can manage a walk. Our bodies are made to walk. Our bodies are made to move. So getting that movement. Notice I don't say exercise every day. I'm saying move every day, because actually, if you're trying to do really high intensity workouts when you are tired all the time, you can just be piling more coins into that extreme fatigue state. So thinking about things like yoga and walking and gentle exercise can help actually put those levels back into that battery to fill that battery back up again. Whereas kind of super stressful, if you love running and you love your high intensity workouts, then do them, but make sure that you do some low intensity stuff as well, some yoga and some walking. And walking can help with mindfulness as well. So, it can help you, you can listen to a podcast, or you can just, kind of listen to what's going on, which brings us to number 4, which is get fresh air. So get that movement, but also get that fresh air. And like I said, walking outside is so powerful at restoring those energy levels. There are, if you walk in the woods as well, there are scents and elements like kind of like vitamins and minerals, but like pheromone type things that the trees give off, which boost our mood. How amazing is that? So if you have a wood near you, go outside, walk in the woods, and it will boost your mood and will boost your energy. And mood and energy are so closely related. So getting some fresh air is the key for those energy levels. And last but not least, number 5 is put time in for you. What brings you joy? What are you doing to fill your life with joy? And this is going to fill your energy bucket up, whatever it might be. If you enjoy, I love cooking. So if I haven't been in the kitchen, if I haven't done cooking for a few days, I know that I feel a bit disconnected, and I'm just like, I want to, like, my husband's like, oh, you're tired, shall we go out? Which is lovely, but actually sometimes I'm like, no, I want to stay in and cook because that's what I enjoy doing. I quite like knitting. So I do knitting to calm me down. I love yoga. I love spending time with my friends. So I'll often kind of bring two together, and I'll meet friends. We did this a lot when we were only allowed to meet outdoors, but we're still doing it now, going for walks, and have groups of friends that I meet sort of once every couple of weeks. It doesn't have to be, too extreme on your schedule, but I have a group of friends that we meet every other Wednesday morning, and it really feeds my soul. And we go for a couple of hours. It's a good walk, but I get so much energy, and I feel so much more productive when I've done this. It really boosts my energy levels going out with them and catching up with them. I have other friends that I'll meet, we'll grab a coffee and walk around the park. It's great for walking the dog as well. So meeting friends might be your thing. Whatever it is that brings you joy, make sure you put some time in your calendar for that, some time that is solely for you. And this will really help boost your energy bucket. So that's it. I've given you kind of 5 things that you can do, 5 actions that you can take to help improve your energy. We've talked a little bit about the supplements and minerals. If you want some more information on that, please do reach out and contact me. All of my links are in the show notes. Go to healthstart.me.uk and it's episode 127. So /127. That is it from me today. Thank you so much for joining me again. Just very quickly, if you've enjoyed this episode, or if you know somebody who is suffering with fatigue, or you think could do with listening to this, please share it with them. If you have the time, if you can pop onto iTunes and leave me a review. If you are listening to this on your podcast app, on your phone, on iTunes, you just literally scroll down to the bottom of my episode, and there's a little bit at the bottom that says rate this podcast. Obviously, you click 5 stars, and then you can choose to leave a review as well. I really appreciate it. It's really lovely for me to get the feedback, because I spend this time talking to myself. So it's nice to know that there are people out there listening, and it also helps other people find that. So that is it from me for this week. Next week, we're going to be talking about energy as well. And next week, I'm going to be talking to you all about adrenal fatigue. So if you want to listen to that episode, make sure you hit subscribe so that it comes into your box when we are ready. That's it. Thank you so much for listening.